Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper coming to you from Schlavenzelda, the Netherlands, and happy Monday to you. That means it's time for Cheer Corner. And for Cheer Corner, I make a card with you, and you get to nominate someone to receive this card because I truly believe that we can change the world one card at a time. There's a lot of misery in the world, there's a lot of pain and suffering, and sometimes it's the little things that we do that can make the biggest difference. We can't change the world. We can't stop wars, but we can make some happy mail and put it in the mail and surprise someone with a little note of kindness. It's just so nice to know that someone is thinking of you. I also promised to share a game today. It's a very simple game, and I thought it's perfect for Cheer Corner. If you follow me, you have seen pictures of me playing this game with my mom, and before that, Mom and Pop used to play it a lot. And yesterday we taught it to Gerard's mom. So at the end of this video, I will share this game. I do not know what it's called. We simply call it 1 through 12. So stay tuned and hopefully I don't forget. All right, so today I am going to be making some more diagonal stamp, shuffle and stack and shuffle cards. Really easy to do and a lot of fun. I made them last week, and this week we're going to make it with Christmas paper. So you'll get a refresher course. I forgot to say that my name is Jackie Vandersar Boot. Although if you look me up in the demonstrator locator, I am still under Jackie Boltje, and in the Netherlands, Jacomina Boltje. And it's because I haven't gotten around to changing the name on my passport. So that is still my official name, even though I am married to the delightful Gerard Vandersar. So on Facebook, I'm Jackie Vandersar Boot. And in my heart, that's who I am. But if you look me up in the demonstrator locator, if you want to buy from me, that gets a little tricky. So I thought I would clarify that. But now we're going to have some fun. Okay, so let's get started. That's just there. I love my logo. I think it's so cool. Anyway, you need, excuse me, 3 pieces of pattern paper that are 3 3/4 inches by 5 or 9.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. I think, no, 13.85 centimeters, okay? So I picked out these. 2 of them are from the Bold, Bright, and Merry or something like that paper, and this one is from the Santa Sleigh paper, okay? But I wanted those colors. I wanted that pool party color in there. I have a piece of Lost Lagoon, but I don't think I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. I think I'm going to be using the blueberry bushel, but we'll see. The mat is 4 inches by 5 1/4 or 10 centimeters by 14.5. I will try to stay in the picture. Okay, and then your card base, I have 3 white card bases. Mine are slightly off, okay, because I didn't want to ruin my thick white cardstock from Europe. So it's supposed to be 8.5 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4 or 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters scored at 10.5. And mine are right now are 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So my front is just 4 1/8. So I'm just going to move my mat right to the fold. So, you know, you have to sometimes make do with what you have. We're going to start with the tricky part. Okay, so you're going to take your 3 pieces of paper and hold them nice and tightly together. Okay, then we're going to get our paper trimmer. We need that. So here's the paper trimmer, and you'll see here there's a 2-inch mark, and that 2-inch line goes all the way down. So we're going to take our stack, and this bottom corner is going to go at the 2-inch mark. I'm just going to make sure they're all tightly together. Tuck it underneath. And so here's the 2-inch line, and I want that corner to be at the 2-inch line. And then this part, you can turn this any which way. Let me go a little bit higher. Move my sticky notes. So back to the 2-inch line there, and I'm going to go like so. It doesn't matter. Fold your thing closed. Press down on this. You don't have to hold the paper. Press down on your arm, on your trimmer arm. And now you're going to cut. Okay? So now we lift up the arm, and we have this triangle. We're going to move the triangle and just put it aside. We have this left, this piece. It's an odd shape. Now we're going to take this piece and put it in the cutting trough, and this is going to go at the 3-inch mark. So let's lay it here, and there's the 3-inch, well, let's slide it down a little bit. There's the 3-inch mark. So the top corner is going to go to the 3-inch mark. And the other corner is going to go into the cutting trough. Oops, right up here. Okay, so 3-inch line, cutting trough. And once it's there, put your arm down, your cutting arm, press it down, and cut. Okay, so now we have this odd shape. We're going to move the cutter. We're going to keep our pieces together. Okay, so now we have the stack part. We've got our pieces stacked. Now we're going to shuffle. Okay, we're going to move those out of the way. We've got our first stack. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to take the second piece that we cut and we're going to put the first piece one over. So we're shuffling. Okay, move that out of the way. And then this one's going to go here and this one's going to go back to the first one. So now we've got 3 stacks so far. Now we're going to take the third piece and you see we're going to put this one over here. This one's going to go back to the first one, and this one's going to go to the middle one. So basically you have one of each pattern, okay, together. Isn't that cool? Now we're going to put them on our bases. And I'm going to decide if I want to make them all with Blueberry Bushel or if I want to do one with Pool Party. I might do one with Pool Party, Lost Lagoon. So this one's going to be with the Blueberry. So you just kind of lay them out first because there's going to be a little bit of a border. So, and it looks just great, doesn't it? I think it's a lot of fun. It's just nice to do something different. So here you can see, you can play with it a little bit to see that your edges are the same. But I would like to reassure you that your person who gets the card is not going to get a magnifying glass to check to make sure that all the little pieces in between are the same. In fact, if it's slightly off, then they will know that it was not a machine that made this, that it was a human. So embrace your mistakes and just enjoy the process, okay? This is not chemistry. It doesn't have to be perfect. The house will not blow up if your card isn't perfect, okay? And people would much rather get an imperfect card than no card at all. So be nice to yourself. Okay, so we need some liquid adhesive. Liquid adhesive does help. It allows you to slide things around, and I'm just going to leave those two pieces right where they are. And I'm just going to take this one and put it upside down. Now, this is meant to be Christmas paper. I'm just going to move this a little bit. But you can see that it doesn't have to be Christmas paper, does it? It can be just perfect for a birthday, any celebration. So give it a little, oh, if your thing isn't working, it might mean that it's just a little stuck, a little plugged. And that means I wasn't diligent in putting the cap back on. And what can happen then is that if you squeeze too hard, that all of a sudden you're going to get a puddle. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab a different one. Okay, there. So just a thin little line of glue. And you don't have to cover the whole thing up. This glue is super strong. Now you're just going to carefully put it in place. Now, you don't have to worry about margins being exactly the same, but you do want your piece to be kind of straight. You don't want it to be crooked. Okay? And I'm going to finish this whole card before I make another one. There. Sliding it off my table and putting it back in place. I'm wearing a great big flannel shirt, and it reminds me of Canada. I bought it in the Yukon Territories on a Stampin' Up trip with my son Oliver, and it's actually meant to be a sleep shirt, but sometimes I will just keep it on and put some jeans with it, and I just call it a shirt. No one knows the difference. It has a moose applique to the bottom of it, and I love to see a moose, but I have only seen 2 moose in my whole life. One was in Algonquin Park across the other side of the lake, so quite a distance away. And the other one was in Nova Scotia on Cape Breton with the Cabot Trail, and it was a mama moose with her calf. So that was really cool. And you know, the part that gets me is that there's always these signs everywhere that say moose, be careful for moose. And I'm like, it gets me all excited. I'm looking, my eyes are peeled for moose. And yeah, it's disappointing. So remember, I said that my card is not exactly wide enough. So if I move my mat all the way to the left, then I just have a mat on 3 sides. So just get creative with your card making if your card stock is not the right size. Okay, you can make it work. So this is also a good tip for Europeans. If you're following a card from an American, then you can just do this as well and make it work with your own card stock, because otherwise you waste a lot of it. Okay, so here we have our Christmas card, and then I cut out some dies from the Nested Essentials dies. And look, see, I could do that. And just put that in the middle. You could add some ribbon. You can also make it, that one's kind of big. Here's a smaller one. I kind of like this. Not too big. And then I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to use a different saying that would be more suited for Cheer Corner. So for this one, you could add ribbon as well and bling. Let's just put this together. Oh, that was too much glue. Good thing I didn't go close to the edge, because you don't want it oozing. That's no fun. And when you're making a simple card, you want to make sure that you use dimensionals to just give it a little bit more interest. So, my dimensionals. Let's turn this over. 1, 2, and then I'm going to see if I have a little bit of ribbon or something that I can use to make this a little bit more exciting. And I have an idea. Stay tuned. Okay, do you remember last week for stamping through my stash, I used this Stralende Kerst, which is also called Merry and Bright in English, and I made a whole pile of ornaments? Well, look at that. Here are the ornaments that match this paper. So we will put a few dimensionals, or just one actually, that's all it takes, in behind. And we're going to put this card together. I should use my take your pick tool to do this. See, if you give them a little squish like so, then, so I want you to think about who's going to get this card, but the next card I'm going to make has a better sentiment. So it's not a Christmas card per se. I don't know if you want to send a Christmas card for a Cheer Corner card, but make sure when you nominate someone, I'm just going to put this up here, that you follow up, because I had several nominations 2 weeks ago with the Perched in a Tree card where people said, I want to nominate someone, and they were amazing stories. So I picked 3 people. I normally only do 1. But only 1 person followed up and sent me the address. I cannot send your person a card if you don't give me the address. So you can email me the address, because I understand you might not want to put their address right out in a message on YouTube or Facebook. So you can email to the Pampered Stamper #1@gmail.com. Okay, so let's do these. These are here. And I'm going to put that one like so, and this one like so. How cool is that? Isn't that fun? Super happy with that. Okay, let's do the next one. So we have our blueberry, and then I'm going to do this and this. Okay. And yes, I know that we have Christmas ornaments. That's okay. It is the time of year. So let's, oops, I keep forgetting to stay in the picture. So maybe you guys are busy watching me anyway and you don't see me, so I won't stress about it. There we go. So down like so. And I have not forgotten about the game. It's what's nice about that game is that it's easy to play, and so you can carry on a conversation as you're playing. And it's also a game that can be enjoyed by people of all ages, so it brings the generations together. You can even play with someone who has issues. Like when my father was really sick and he didn't have really good motor control anymore, he was in in his lazy boy chair, and my brother had bought a special tray on a stand that could swivel over, and in that tray where we would put his food was also a cup holder. And so my mother would just get him to throw his dice in the cup holder, and that way they couldn't fall off the tray, and that worked really well. Oh, I forgot to put it on a Lost Lagoon piece. Okay, well, it is what it is. We're going to put it on a white card base. And so that's really nice too, and it's great for people that have not dyslexia is when you don't do your um, letters well, dyscalculia, which is if you're having trouble with numbers. So one of Gerard's daughters has that, and oh, I have to go right to the edge. Sorry, I forgot. And it was a great way for her to have practice figuring out what two numbers make another number for addition. Okay, so now take a look at this. I have this blue. This is a nested essential, and then I used my stitched rectangles. This is also from the Mary paper. And then look at this. I have this best friends make the good times better and the hard times easier. So if I put this, I can do it so that I can just see this. No, I'm going to do it over top. Okay. I knew I had to make it work somehow. There. So we're going to put that near the bottom. And then I'm going to put this over top. There. And then I'll tell you where this best friends came from, because this is still available. There. Not crooked, Jackie, not crooked. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to try to not have it crooked, okay? So this can go like so. And then if you want, you can add an ornament, because it is the time of year, but it also looks fine without an ornament. Maybe we could add a little bit of ribbon or something. Let's take a look. Okay, so I found this ribbon, and what is it called? It is called Metallic Edge Cotton Ribbon, and we just need a little strip, maybe 4 inches. And then on the back of this, on this side, we're going to just put a piece of tear and tape. So, give it a nice press. And then take your pokey tool, take your pick tool, and just get under there a little bit. There. Peel it off. And then just fold this in half, kind of like that, and press it down on your tear and tape. And then if you want to stabilize it, you could put another piece over top, like so. And you don't even have to take the glue off of that if you don't want to. But I do want to. Well, no, I don't. Actually, I don't, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop it up. So I'm just going to go like this, because otherwise it'll be lumpy with that ribbon. So you want to pop this up, and then I don't think we will put an ornament on it. And this is just a subtle way to show somebody that you're thinking of them at Christmas time without it really being a Christmas card. Okay? And I'm just going to put that down here. And isn't that pretty? Okay. Okay. So now what time is it? Oh yeah, I want to show you something else. Before we show you, I'm going to show you the game. So make sure you nominate someone. And here are the ones that I made last week. So I added some gems, and I think that really made a difference. See? And then helemaal geweldig, that means completely awesome. And you know what? I stamped this a little bit crooked, but that's okay. You're on my mind and in my heart. So you can nominate any one of these cards. Just when you nominate someone, tell me which one you want to nominate. Okay? So there we go. All right, time for the game. So what you need for this game is 6 dice. Okay? You need a pad of paper. Everybody gets a piece of paper. And on your piece of paper, you are going to write the numbers 1 through 12. So 1, well, you need a pen that works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's good to have a little room underneath you don't have to do this, but my parents would always try to see how many they could get on one page. They would have gone 1 through 12 this way so that they could get so many games. So the idea is that you have to get 5 of each number to win the game. The first person to get 5 of each number wins. So I'm just going to put this on some cardstock so it's not so loud. So you roll the dice, and so then you have to choose. I could do 2 5s, 1 6, 2 1s, or for the numbers 7 through 12, you get to use 2 dice because, of course, those numbers aren't on the die. So then I could do either 2 7s, like so, or I could do an 11. Okay. Now, another tip is the numbers 11 and 12 are the most difficult to get because there's only one combination of dice. There's only one way to get an 11, and there's only one way to get a 12. So those are, as my mother would say, expensive numbers. Dat is een dure, she would say. And then the 10s and the 9s, there are 2 ways to get a 10 and a 9. Okay? And there are 3 ways to get a 7 and an 8. So the further you go up, the harder the number is to get. So you could get stuck with not getting enough 11s or 12s. And then you have to subtract those numbers. So let's say at the end of the game, my mom is done. She has 5 of every number. And I am missing 3 12s. Then I have 36 points against me. So then I would write 36 at the bottom. And the way it would work is, let's say I chose for the 2 7s early on in the game. Okay. So then I have 2 7s. I'm allowed to keep rolling. So I roll again. And now I'm done because I didn't throw another 7. But let's say I did roll another 7. See, there's the third way to make a 7. Then I can take all the dice and roll again. So now I have 3 7s. I have to keep choosing 7. I can't change my mind for a different number. Okay, so I roll again. And look, I have another 7. So now I have 4 7s. And I can roll the remaining dice again. And look, now I have 5 7s. So in my turn, I've had 5 7s. I have not misrolled yet. So I can write down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a line through it. And because I was still successful, my turn continues. So I go again. Oh, wow, this is an amazing turn. So I have 2 11s. I'm going to try for a third because I get to roll these again. But now I do not have an 11. My turn is over. So what I'm going to do is mark my 2 11s. And then the next person goes, and you go clockwise with however many people, it doesn't matter. And then, so when I go again, 7s I can't have anymore because my 7s are complete. And so that's how the game continues. So let's say it's my turn again. Goodness. See, I'm not going to go for 7s because I don't need them anymore. So I have either 3 5s or 1 8 or 1 9. I'm going to go for the 3 5s. So, and you don't write it down till your turn is done. And now my turn is done. Because there's no 5s here, I can't go anymore. So then I would write down 3 5s. And that's how it goes. And sometimes you might roll, especially at the end of the game, you might roll your dice and not have anything. Then you just have to skip your turn. And so it's a lot of fun. It's just a fun game. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you know the name of this game, you can let me know that as well. So yeah, it's a fun game. My mother never gets sick of it. And it's a great way to spend time together and just have fun. I think it's really important to have fun. It's nicer than it engages the brain. We call it, or my brother calls it the mindless game. Gerard will argue with that. And he says, no, it's not mindless because there is some strategy involved as to which number you choose. Some people just always choose to pick the number that they have the most of, but sometimes you want to strategize with getting the higher numbers first. So you know what? Over the years, I still don't have set in stone rules. There's a good deal of luck involved. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for Cheer Corner. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And if you are looking for a demonstrator, if you want to purchase Stampin' Up! Supplies, I hope you choose me because that would make me really happy and that keeps my business afloat. So that's all. Bye.